Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Natalie and this is the Q&A video. I'm responding to your questions on Instagram. Question number 1. How to do a kick up when your shoulders are tight and you are trying to kick up onto the wall. That is indeed quite difficult, because what happens when you try to kick up and your shoulders are tight is that your chest does not quite make it up high enough, and then you have to really arch a lot and go into a banana shape to reach the wall. Yeah, so if your shoulders are very tight, then if you just watch this part here of my chest, basically this part of your chest is going to stop at the angle where your shoulder tightness sits. So it's going to look something like that. Basically, you can't get your middle back up to here, where you would be right above you, but you get stuck here. And then you have to kind of kick really hard to reach the wall, but also it's going to likely hurt your back. That is why I always stress shoulder mobility so much, and it really helps so much to work on your shoulder mobility. I've made a video separately only about how to do kick-ups with tight shoulders. You can find it here, but I'll explain it to you one more time. Basically, you have to round your back as much as possible and then consciously open your shoulders by pushing the base of the hand up and back. So there comes the point when you have to consciously open the shoulders after really rounding the back a lot. So first of all, really make sure that you round the back, and then you reach your maximum shoulder mobility here, and then you have to push your hands, makes me fall backwards. You have to push your hands up, so I like to think of the base of the hand up and back to open the shoulders. And in that moment you also need to slightly rotate your arms out. So imagine that your armpits are slightly rotating to the side, and that's what has to happen in the moment when you reach your maximum shoulder mobility here. Yeah, so let's say it's here, you've reached your maximum shoulder mobility, and then you rotate a little bit outwards and you really push into the floor and back to open. But you really have to start with a round back here, yeah? So make sure you're not already starting like that, but that your back is pushed up to here, really being mindful of pushing the middle back up. I've put a link here as well to my how to do a kick up in general video, and then there's another one here about how to do handstands against the wall with tight shoulders. If your shoulders are tight, you can also try to kick up from an elevation. This is my very professional elevation today here. It is a suitcase for my lights. And you can, so please, if you have an elevation, make sure it's stable. And you can then step out onto your elevation and then do the kick up from here. And that will give you a big advantage, because you can already position your upper back here, round it, and you have a shorter way. And then you can focus more on really getting the middle back here up in your kick up. This is the lighting suitcase of my colleague Mark Moreau that I make videos with. Have a look at his Instagram. He makes very nice pictures and videos. Question number 2. What are the benefits of being able to hold a handstand or learning handstands in general? There are a lot of benefits. I find personally the benefits are that it makes you feel very strong and powerful. The moment of balance is a moment where I feel like I have total control and like I can do anything, and to experience this moment repeatedly, it's kind of exhilarating. It gives me like my few seconds of being a superhero every day, where I feel like I can do this amazing thing.
but it's not because other people think it's amazing, but it's because I experience a physical moment and physical experience of being entirely in control. And that, I think any kind of physical skill that you master can give you that. So that is one thing I really like about it. I really like the daily practice as well, because it's so repetitive, and you have to be very focused on your training. So you have a kind of a moment of natural physical meditation as well in the day, where you are focused entirely on this one task and you're fully invested in it. And I find that calms my mind. Handstand practice always calms my mind and makes me feel more centered as a person and physically as well. And then the other thing I would say is handstands, and being able to do handstands, because it trains so many different parts of your body, prepares you for any other physical activity that you want to do, and it makes you fitter overall and more apt to start any other type of more complex sports or physical activity. And I think also if you just want to get fit, I think it's more fun than going to the gym. Maybe you love going to the gym. I really don't like going to the gym. I find it quite boring. And handstand practice is a more integrated way to move every part of your body. Ha ha ha. Question number 3 is, do you have any advice to start training on canes? Yes, I do. I have made a video as well here about how to practice on canes, and there's a few videos in my Vimeo library as well about how to do more, how to jump up onto the canes. And then in the description below I have a link to my favorite handstand cane shop, where you can also find blocks, and they have canes that have an adjustable height. So they start up this small and then you can make them this high. And that is really fantastic because it can be very scary in the beginning to jump up, and jumping up separately is quite a difficult skill that you need to practice to give the right amount of momentum into the jump, and also to twist out of the handstand. So I recommend in general that you start with blocks and not canes, and only when you are relatively confident with the blocks do you then move on to canes, and then I would recommend that you start with low canes. Because one of the most difficult thing with the canes, I'll show you with blocks, with my handstand blocks, is to jump into a safety position first, so that you don't jump into the full straddle. You jump into a safety position, in a straddle or in a tuck, and then you align the handstand. So what I would not do on canes is to jump straight away into the position. You can do that, but it is relatively tricky because you have to really know how to stop your handstand in that position. So I generally recommend that you jump to a safety position, to here, where your legs are slightly in front. Your entire back is not too open yet, and you can always come down in front of the canes if you need to. And from there, you then roll the legs into position. So it's a little bit like the last part of the press. Safety position, and then up. Safety, and then up. So jumping into straddle, jumping into tuck are my 2 recommended ways of starting to jump up onto the canes, unless you want to press, unless you are strong enough to press already. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. I am going to make a few more of these videos answering your questions that you posted on Instagram. Have a lovely day.